I want to introduce you to the Shot String Analyzer, or SSA. I developed the SSA about a year ago to simplify the task of analyzing shot strings I recorded over the chronograph. Like most PCP owners, I found myself collecting a lot of data from the chronograph and then entering it into an Excel spreadsheet. Once it was in the spreadsheet, I found it difficult to analyze one string against another and determine which settings were the best for what it was I was intending to use my gun for. Obviously, if you have one or two strings, this is not difficult, but if you have 100 strings, it is very difficult. The Shot String Analyzer will analyze all strings that you select, apply the criteria that you prioritize, and then bring back the shots within the string that best meet that criteria. Let me show you an example. In this screen is where you keep all of your string data. So these columns here contain a string I called Custom Hammer 5, and it has all of the FPS values, the pressure values, etc. I have many strings in this spreadsheet. I think I have 98 or so strings that can be analyzed. In this case, I want to analyze my custom hammer strings. So if I go into here, I see a list of all of the strings that I have recorded data for, and right here I have Custom Hammer 1 through Custom Hammer 5. So I'm going to select those, and those are the ones I'm going to analyze. On this side of the screen, you have the parameters that you can set to determine how you evaluate the strings and find the best one. So in this case, I said I want to only look at strings that have a max fill of 3,500 or less. I want to only look at shots that have a FPS value equal to or greater than 819. I need to have a shot string that has at least 5 shots in it, and I want my maximum ES percentage to be 2%. Up here are the priorities that you can set. So if you're more concerned about ES than you are shot count, you can put ES at the top and shot count lower. If you would prefer shot count to take precedence over ES, you can move that up. So in this case, I will move ES above shot count, have shot count, max FPS. I have a fill tank myself, so I don't really care that much about fill pressure. And now I'll analyze these 5 strings. Now, what the system just did was it went through all 5 of those strings and it analyzed every shot in those strings, and it found the shots within those strings that best met the criteria that I selected and the priority that I set for that criteria. In this case, it brought back Custom Hammer 5, and as you can see up over in this box, these were the criteria I set. I wanted less than or equal to 2% ES. I had to have at least 5 shots. I had to have at least 819 FPS, and my fill had to be less than or equal to 3,500. The order of priority for those criteria is over here. I placed ES as most important, and fill pressure and proximity to center as least important. This area here shows you data for the entire string. So this entire string, if you look at shots 1 through, I think there's 32 shots here, it used 1,750 pounds. This was my VS and gap and spring settings, the pellet I used, and here's the ES percent and FPE for that entire string. This box here describes only those shots that met the criteria that you selected, and it shows you what those actual values are. So in this case, I got 11 shots out of this string. The ES was 1.68, which is less than my 2% I required. FPE 49. Start and end pressures 2625 to 2212, and you see those here in the graph. So these shots here, 11 through 20, are the ones that best qualified out of all of my shot strings. I used 413 pounds of air.